I had always been fascinated by the old mansion on the hill. It was said to be haunted by the ghosts of its former owners, who had died in a mysterious fire decades ago. I wanted to see for myself if the rumors were true, so I decided to sneak in one night and explore the place. I climbed over the fence and made my way to the front door. It was unlocked, as if inviting me in. I stepped inside and felt a chill run down my spine. The mansion was dark and silent, except for the occasional creak of the floorboards. I took out my flashlight and looked around. The walls were covered with faded portraits of stern-looking people, their eyes following me as I moved. The furniture was dusty and decayed, and the air was stale and musty. I walked through the hallway, curious about what secrets the mansion hid. I came across a door that was slightly ajar. I pushed it open and entered a large library. There were shelves upon shelves of books, some of them ancient and leather-bound. I picked one up and opened it. It was a diary written by one of the mansion's inhabitants. I skimmed through the pages, trying to find something interesting. I stopped at an entry that caught my eye. It read, "Today I have finally completed the ritual. I have summoned the Dark Lord and made a pact with him. He has granted me eternal life and power in exchange for my soul and the souls of my family. I have no regrets. They were weak and foolish and deserved to die. Tonight I will set fire to the mansion and escape with my new master. No one will ever know the truth. I will rule the world with him by my side." I felt a surge of fear and disbelief. Was this some kind of sick joke? Or was it real? I looked at the date of the entry. It was the same day as the fire that killed the mansion's owners. I dropped the book and ran out of the library. I had to get out of this place. It was evil. I sprinted down the hallway, hoping to find the exit. But as I ran, I realized that the mansion had changed. The doors and windows were gone, replaced by blank walls. The portraits had turned into skulls, grinning at me with malice. The furniture had become twisted and grotesque, like something out of a nightmare. I was trapped. I heard a loud laugh behind me. I turned around and saw a figure standing in the shadows. It was a man dressed in a black cloak. He had pale skin, red eyes, and sharp teeth. He looked like the devil. "Hello, my dear," he said in a voice that was both seductive and sinister. "I've been waiting for you. You are the perfect sacrifice for my lord. He will be pleased with you, and so will I." He stepped out of the darkness and grabbed me by the neck. I screamed, but no one heard me. He lifted me up and brought his mouth to my ear. "Welcome to hell," he whispered before biting into my flesh. I don't know how I ended up here. All I remember is that I was driving home from work, and then I saw this sign that said, "For sale, historic mansion, great deal." I was curious, so I decided to take a look. Maybe I could buy it and flip it for a profit, I thought. I parked my car outside the gate and walked up to the front door. It was unlocked, so I entered. The house was huge, dark, and dusty. It looked like it hadn't been lived in for decades. There were paintings on the walls, furniture covered with sheets, and cobwebs everywhere. I felt a chill run down my spine, but I shrugged it off. I wanted to explore the place, maybe find something valuable. I wandered around the ground floor, checking out the rooms. There was a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a library, and a study. Nothing caught my eye, except for a large portrait of a stern-looking man in a suit. He had a beard, a monocle, and a cane. He looked like the owner of the house, or maybe the builder. His eyes seemed to follow me as I moved around the room. I felt uneasy, so I left. I decided to go upstairs, hoping to find something more interesting. There were more rooms there, mostly bedrooms and bathrooms. I opened one of the doors and saw a fitness room. There was a treadmill, a bike, a bench, and some weights. There was also a large mirror on the wall and a TV mounted above it. I thought it was odd that someone would have a fitness room in such an old house, but I didn't think much of it. I walked in and looked around. That's when I saw it. The image. It was on the TV screen. It was a picture of me, lying on the floor, covered in blood. I gasped and looked down. There was nothing there. I was fine. I looked at the TV again. The image was still there. I felt a surge of fear and confusion. How was this possible? Was this some kind of prank? A hidden camera? A glitch? I ran to the TV and tried to turn it off. It didn't work. I tried to unplug it. It didn't work. I tried to smash it. It didn't work. The image was still there, mocking me. I screamed and backed away. I bumped into the mirror and fell to the ground. I looked up and saw another image. It was the same as the one on the TV, but reversed. I was still lying on the floor, covered in blood. But this time, I saw something else. A shadowy figure standing over me, holding a knife. It looked like the man from the portrait downstairs. I realized then that I was in danger. This was no prank, no glitch. This was a warning, a prophecy, a curse. This house was haunted, and the ghost wanted me dead. I had to get out of here, fast. I got up and ran to the door. It was locked. I tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. I kicked it, but it wouldn't break. I was trapped. I heard a laugh behind me, a cold, cruel laugh. I turned around and saw him, the man from the portrait, the ghost. He was standing in front of the TV, smiling wickedly. He was holding the knife, dripping with blood. He looked at me and said, "Welcome to my house. I hope you enjoy your stay. It will be your last." He lunged at me, stabbing me in the chest. I felt a sharp pain, then nothing. I fell to the floor, dying. The last thing I saw was his face, twisted with malice. The last thing I heard was his laugh, echoing in my ears. I had always wanted to buy a house of my own. I had saved up enough money to afford a decent place in the suburbs. I had searched online for listings and found one that seemed perfect. It was a spacious, 2-story house with a nice garden and a garage. It was located in a quiet and safe neighborhood. It was also surprisingly cheap, considering its size and condition. I contacted the seller and arranged a meeting. He was an old man who looked tired and nervous. He told me that he was selling the house because he was moving to another state to live with his daughter. He said that he had lived in the house for over 40 years and that he had taken good care of it. He said that the house had no problems and that it was ready to move in. I asked him why the house was so cheap. He hesitated for a moment, then said that it was because the house had a history. He said that the house was built in the late 1800s and that it had been the site of several murders and suicides over the years. He said that some people believed that the house was haunted by the spirits of the dead and that they had experienced strange noises, cold spots, and apparitions in the house. He said that he had never seen or heard anything himself and that he didn't believe in ghosts. He said that he was selling the house at a low price because he wanted to get rid of it quickly and that he didn't care about the rumors. I was skeptical about his story, but I was also intrigued. I had always been interested in the paranormal, and I thought that living in a haunted house would be exciting. I decided to buy the house despite the warnings. I signed the papers and got the keys. The old man wished me good luck and left. I moved into the house the next day. I unpacked my belongings and settled in. I felt happy and proud of my new home. I didn't notice anything unusual or creepy about the house. It seemed normal and cozy to me. The first night I went to bed early. I was tired from the moving and wanted to rest. I fell asleep as soon as I hit the pillow. I had a peaceful and pleasant dream. I woke up in the middle of the night. I felt a cold breeze on my face. I opened my eyes and saw a figure standing over me. It was a woman, dressed in a white nightgown. She had long black hair and pale skin. She had no eyes, only dark holes where they should be. She had a wide, bloody smile on her face. She was holding a knife in her hand. She leaned down and whispered in my ear. "Welcome to your new home," she said, before stabbing me in the chest. I decided to buy the house despite the warnings. I signed the papers and got the keys. The old man wished me good luck and left. I moved into the house the next day. I unpacked my belongings and settled in. I felt happy and proud of my new home. I didn't notice anything unusual or creepy about the house. It seemed normal and cozy to me. The first night, I went to bed early. I was tired from the moving and wanted to rest. I fell asleep as soon as I hit the pillow. I had a peaceful and pleasant dream. I woke up in the middle of the night. I felt a cold breeze on my face. I opened my eyes and saw a figure standing over me. It was a woman dressed in a white nightgown. She had long black hair and pale skin. She had no eyes, only dark holes where they should be. She had a wide, bloody smile on her face. She was holding a knife in her hand. She leaned down and whispered in my ear. "Welcome to your new home," she said, before stabbing me in the chest.